Next month, CS will be 2.5 years old. And yeah, it's almost been 2.5 years since CS2 was released to the public at the end of September 2023. And while the game developed from the beginning, I think we're still missing some core features that would be amazing to have, especially the ones we had in CSGO. However, let us see how we can implement them into CS2, since the philosophy or the direction the game is going from CSGO is different. So let's try to build upon that. And with that said, guys, don't forget about a giveaway in the description down below. And as always, check out the Discord for more. And now a quick word from our sponsor. With Skins Monkey, you can easily trade your CS skins just a few clicks. It's a fully automated trading platform with 24/7 live chat support and a massive inventory of skins to choose from. When you trade at least $10 worth of skins, you get up to $5 for free as a bonus. To maximize it, trade $100 and grab that extra $5 bonus. Skins Monkey also offers a 35% bonus when you use my code SHIFTERZ, and also check out their free section for awesome giveaways. Click the link below, use my code, and now back to the video. So for the first thing, obvious operations. You know it, I don't have to say anything more. They were great and we would like to see them back in CS2. However, how can we do that? How could operations look like in CS2? First of all, I would divide it into two categories. The first thing, the one you get when you spend money on the game, so the paid stuff, and then the free stuff. So how could the free stuff look like? Obviously, they would have to be involved with the maps that would be released for the operation. You should have to do tasks or play games on specific maps to be able to maybe get a specialized reward that you can later on trade up, sell, or do whatever with. And those items can either be skins for different guns, maybe an agent, or a specialized case that is tied to the operation. Then you would have the paid section, and that should be integrated, I would say, with the Armory Pass, since I think Valve would do that. It would boost sales for the Armory Pass, and on top of that, you would have a specialized category in the Armory Pass for this event. And here again, you should be able to get some stickers, some skins for your guns, maybe an agent even, and an operation case. And depending on how much you want to play this, and from a business perspective, and we all know Valve likes money, this would generate, I would say, more cash than just buying a pass for the event and only doing a one-time purchase. Then for the next point that I would like to address and have back in CS2 would be the short matches. Back in CSGO, you were able to choose between a long match, which could theoretically go for 30 rounds, or a short match, which went up to 16. And here, if we look at an old post from Leatify, we can clearly see that in 2023, basically the short matches were as popular as the long matches. And to be honest, I would say take out the long matches for competitive, put in the short matches in there, or if you want to keep them in, give the players the opportunity to split it again up, since I would say the player base can handle it. Looking at data from Leatify for today's databases, we can clearly see that competitive is popular. Last month we had over 2.6 million competitive matches played. Then for the next point I would like to see again is seasonal content, especially when it comes to adding a couple of things to match the current season we're in. For example, back then we had special stuff that was added during Halloween, during Christmas, and we could do that for a couple of more holidays, maybe even for Easter and some other stuff. And I'm not asking for a lot, like a complete map change. I'm just asking for a couple of little details. For example, having the chickens change with seasonal hats or other attire, or spice it up during the warm-up, that you have maybe special effects when you kill an enemy, or you have a special weapon, for example the snowballs, that you were able to shoot at each other. And then another cool feature that would be cool to have back in CS2 was the CS Plus monthly subscription service that you were able to get, where you saw a lot of information about how you played. Basically you saw stats, however you had to pay for it. I would make it free, since you have other services like Leatify, Scope GG, and others that provide the services. And on top of the free version, they have a paid version where you pay a monthly subscription to it, and having that integrated into CS2 would, I would say, be a benefit. Give the user a general statistic on how they're playing, what are some points where they could improve, and on top of that, maybe add some premium features where you could pay. And for the last point that I would really like to have back is Overwatch. And well, Overwatch in its way how it was in CSGO, it was flawed and therefore it was abused, and that is why it was removed in CS2. And this was the idea that I had for CS2. And here's what I would do to stop people from abusing the system. I would make it so that if you're able to get correct answers and properly evaluate the suspect, you will be rewarded with armory stars. Somewhere maybe between 2 to 5 stars per reviewed footage that was assessed correctly, and if not, you wouldn't be rewarded anything. And on top of that, if you keep reporting false positives, the system should stop rewarding you and should maybe put you on a probation or outright stop giving you stars. And with that said, those were 5 points and 5 ideas that I would bring back from CSGO, revamp it for CS2. And the only question I have now is, do you think there is another way of how you would implement these ideas? And on top of that, if you have any further ideas, how would you implement them into CS that they work with the current meta, the current structure, and the current mindset of the developers? Let me know. And as always, guys, don't forget to check out all of the relevant links down in the description below. Don't forget about a giveaway. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of today's video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one.